Welcome back, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, all my beautiful water signs. I'm super excited for your reading today. I say that every time, but I really mean it this time. So let's get started. Welcome back to all my subscribers. If this is your first time here and you like fun original content with a spiritual twist, go down and click subscribe and the bell so you never miss a reading. If you need a private reading from me, go to LizZamorski.com and I'll get you all sorted. But I am chomping at the bit to get into this reading. I don't even have songs today because I was just so laser focused on these cards coming out of the Lightseers Tarot. So let's jump into it. So your cards today that came out were the Moon, the Empress, and the Fool. And these are all major arcana. So this means major, major, major change. These are all feminine energies as well. So I feel like this is really deep into like your being, your resting, your not the doing. Forget the doing. It's being, resting, contemplating, listening to your intuition, planning, just really going and doing the deep work inside that you need to do. So that way, once that doing phase comes back around, you're ready to go. There's so much happening here. I feel like this whole story came out for you. So I'm going to start with the Moon. In this one, they're in the background, there's these black and white wolves. And I feel like that's all about that balance for you again of the feminine and the masculine, the being and the doing. And right now you're immersed in your intuition. You're immersed in this time where you need to go inward and start getting really real about trusting yourself, putting faith in your intuition, knowing in your gut that you have all the answers. And then we have the Empress. Like, I'm going to keep jumping back and forth between these cards because I feel like the story is a bit layered. Then we have the Empress. In this context, it's all about the abundance, like incubating the idea that comes through your intuition, incubating the patterns that are starting to emerge from your soul's language, so that way you can birth into the world what you're supposed to be bringing in. And then we have the Fool, who is all about new beginnings. She is trusting. She's got the thing that she's going to jump into. She's starting on this new journey. So right now, the way that this is going is like you're getting in touch with your intuition, you're incubating the idea, and then you're going to birth it. Another thing that I noticed is that in the Moon and the Empress, there are two full moon images. Right now when I'm, what do I call this? Right now when I'm recording this video, even though it's a timeless video, you can watch it at any time. Right now it's the eve of the new moon. So I felt like the fact that this full moon was coming out not once but twice, and it was the moon, is that something is about to start happening from the time that you watch this video for the next 2 weeks. So really start like anchoring in, lasing your focus in, like really, by lasing I mean laser, not lazy, but like really start drawing in your energy and your focus, because you are going from like the seed planting moment through germination to the blooming. And like the next 2 weeks are going to be really integral in that process of you being able to incubate this and get it moving before the full moon. I also noticed that like in the Fool, she's allowing herself to fall back into what looks like this pool of water. And in the Moon, she has fallen into the pool of water. So there's something about like being immersed in it right now, but that this cycle is going to be constantly like immersing and then like re-allowing yourself to fall into the next pool. And so it's a cycle of going deep, birthing it, and then falling back in. So this might feel like you're actually spinning your wheels, but just change your perception, your perspective, just a degree off of this center that you have right now, and really start noticing by taking a step back that like this is a cycle, a growth cycle. And so you're not actually spinning your wheels. It's like you're picking up momentum. You're gaining momentum in birthing this into the world. So this is really heavy, big energy, and you're really like on the path to really birth what your intuition wants in this world, what we're lacking, and we need you. Oh my goodness. So I'm really looking forward. I'm going to pull this spread to clarify these cards. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, in the recent past, you have 8 of Swords. Okay. And with that, it's like, you just didn't know. You were like, you felt like people were attacking you. You just felt like, this is not how I see myself. This is not the situation I want to be in. Why is this happening to me? Why am I getting bound up this way? It was just very confusing in the recent past. And you were like, I want to break free. Okay, we've got a lot of fire energy here too, by the way, that's coming up for you. So you might also be involved with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Or I feel like this cycle is really going to continue until we get, like there's going to be one cycle that takes you to August, like the next 3 months. And then there's going to be like another cycle that takes you through to the end of the year. So there's like 2 major cycles, I feel like, that are coming up for you starting now, starting with this new moon. In your present energy, you have Ace of Wands. And this one, like the third eye, the pineal gland, is just all on fire. So this is like really, really owning, being led by, revering your intuition, knowing that that spark of creativity is coming through you and that you are just clear seeing, clear knowing, on your path, trusting. Super beautiful. This Ace of Wands for me is like the highest energy card in this deck. So when I see this come out in your present position, I'm just like, oh, your energy is just like, bing, it's up there. You have high vibration. You have your sights set on something really amazing, and you're changing your life. You're doing a major life overhaul, which is incredible. So this is also why you need to be resting. Like, you need to be conserving your energy as you go through this. Thinking takes a lot of energy, but therefore you need to be really pulling in your physical energy as much as possible. Your challenge is 9 of Wands, and that is going to be to set boundaries. You're going to need to be really diligent about standing in your power and setting your boundaries, because you're not going to have the energy left over to be dealing with energy vampires or people who are pulling you this way and that way, and like who are really just bringing nonsense into your life. Like, you're on a soul mission right now. You're always on a soul mission, but especially right now. And like, this time is really important. This time right now, this time in the next 2 weeks are really important, and you don't have time for any of the BS. You just don't have any time for people who are going to come in and like need you to be a yes man or a cheerleader or blind support. Like, you are going to need to really set boundaries and hold them, and that's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for you. Only difficult because this is in the challenge position. So it's like, just stay vigilant about where your boundaries are, and be very vigilant about any spiritual leaks or energetic leaks, like any loops that are left open, any old flames or old friends, like where you just kind of have left it hanging. You want to close those off, however that makes sense for you. Like, either telling the person directly, or just in your mind being like, I'm done with that. Like, I'm not answering texts, I'm blocking them on social media, like, I'm just done. The message from your spirit guides is the world. And this is also about a cycle of completion and stepping through this portal of this completion into a very, very happy day. Air signs which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, they got this card in the same position. So I feel like this is a really beautiful time for us as a collective. So not just air signs and water signs, but also just as a collective energy, that like there's a lot of completion happening. We're stepping into a whole new world. We're stepping into a whole new world. We're stepping into a whole new way of being, and you have to close off. Like, the fact that it's like the full circle too. It's like, close off those leaks. Close off those old loops or those old threads or those old bridges that actually are begging to be burned. Some of the safest things you can do in your life is to burn a bridge. So that way nobody can, like, that person cannot keep crossing it. And I feel like we have been so conditioned, never burn a bridge, never do. There are some doors that are not just supposed to be closed, but they're supposed to be hammered shut. Hammer those doors shut. burn those bridges, close those energetic loops, close those leaks, really seal off your perimeter and really seal off your energy body, your aura, whatever you want to call it. You need to start like really cleansing that and really tightening up security. Not making yourself a recluse, but keeping yourself safe so that way you can go inward and go through this process without having like energy vampires really pulling you here and there, because that's going to start clouding your actual intuition and your judgment. It's going to start clouding up the divine wisdom that's coming through you, or it's just going to make that channel like a little bit more clogged. You don't need it. Halas. In your outcome, we have 7 of Wands. And this right now to me is all about your solar plexus chakra. And that's, listening to your gut, being really in balance and one with your intuition. You can do this with your eyes. You're going to make it look easy. You're going to be at rest. You're going to be at peace. You're going to be at one. So anybody that you need to forgive, forget, move on, like anything that you need to put a completion to, put a period to, do it now. Because you need to move into this time of like peace and openness and joy. And you don't need these like people showing back up. I'm so excited for you. This Moon Empress Fool energy, I cannot get over it. Like that whole thing was just like this story of like this birth cycle. Like the moon, also her being submerged, it made me think of like an amniotic sac. And then you see this Empress who's fully pregnant. So it's just like this meta thing where it's like, you're the thing that she's birthing. Part of your soul is the thing that's gestating right now that the Empress is going to birth. And then that Fool, it's like, that's the birth. So it just took me through this whole like prenatal birth, antenatal phase. It's amazing. I'm so excited to see where this takes you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know how this is going. And I'll see you next time. Bye, water signs.